Barclay James Harvest, Taking Some Time On, the Parlophone years 1968 to 73. Barclay James Harvest released their first album in 1970. They were pioneers of combining rock music with an orchestra. They worked with the composer and arranger Robert John Godfrey, who later became semi-famous as the leader of the Enid. I saw the Enid a couple of times at a local pub and at the Reading Festival. The Enid were more of a classical ensemble with rock instrumentation. They did a great version of the Dam Busters theme. Barclay James Harvest were not alone at the time in combining rock and orchestra. Deep Purple had performed their concerto for rock group and orchestra, and Uriah Heep had done something similar with their track Salisbury. The first Barclay James Harvest album was not successful. It has some quite good songs and it has two orchestral epics. One of them is a bit like Procol Harum did with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra when they did Salty Dog and Whaling Stories. And the other is like a tame version of Pink Floyd's Atom Heart Mother, without the sound effects and Dave Gilmour. The guitarist in Barclay James Harvest seemed only to know one trick. That is the one where you bend one note up a tone to match the note on the next string up. Despite disappointing album sales, they went on tour with the orchestra. I think that is how I first heard of them. It was a kind of novelty thing. I used to own the CD of the second album. I think I bought it from Scorpion Records in High Wycombe. But I got rid of it when I bought this 5 CD box set. The second album, Barclay James Harvest Once Again, is by far the best in the set. The set also includes 4 other albums, singles, B-sides and Radio 1 sessions. The sessions are very underproduced and hardly worth listening to. Less really is more, and because of the way the CDs are sequenced, you cannot easily just play the second album. Barclay James Harvest were all about production, either with a real orchestra or with a great swirling mellotron. Barclay James Harvest had one great track and it was on their second album. It has a massive production. There is a version without orchestra, but that only serves to highlight how important the orchestra was. Robert John Godfrey fell out with them over lack of credit on this song, and eventually he sued the record company for royalties. The song was Mockingbird. I probably taped it off the radio back in the day because it was played quite frequently, though it was never a big hit. I saw Barclay James Harvest at Brunel University, and I can still remember getting chills hearing Mockingbird. The whole second album is worth checking out. The other 2 albums are much more of the same. Everything is played at a medium pace. There are simple chord passages made slightly more interesting by simple orchestral passages, basic lead guitar, and EastEnders duff-duffs and Pat Boone, Debbie Boone drum breaks. The lyrics are like A-level peace anthems, well-meaning but forgettable. By the time I got to the 4th album, I thought they had given up on the orchestra in favour of generic pre-new wave pomp rock. But there is one long orchestral track that is like Mahler for film theme fans. But they did make one great epic song. It was their MacArthur Park, or Music Is My First Love by John Miles. I think John Miles was the support act when I saw Barclay James Harvest at Brunel. Barclay James Harvest tried to do something innovative, but it was Jeff Lynne and ELO who actually had the right idea. Taking Some Time On, Barclay James Harvest, 1968 to 73.